DJ's Tabletop Gaming, and this video brings us back to Victory at Sea. We're taking a look at the Conte di Cavour Italian battleship from the pre-World War One, and made it all the way through to World War Two. Give you a little bit of history with it, as always, and of course the characteristics. So hop aboard and let's get going. Here we've got the Italian battleship Conte di Cavour. It was a ship of the Italian Navy, Regia Marina, laid down on August 10th, 1910, and launched exactly 1 year later, August 10th, 1911. She was completed on the 1st of April, 1915. She went into a refit from October 1933 to June 1937. She was captured on the 10th of September 1943 and then ultimately scrapped for her steel and whatnot in 1946. She was considered a dreadnought battleship, very similar to the time frame of USS Arkansas, the USS Texas. So her characteristics, her size, she displaced 25,000 tons, what they call a deep load or a combat load. So not real big, honestly. She was 577 feet, just a little over 577 feet long. She had a almost 92 foot beam, and she carried a draft of 30 and a half feet, 30 feet 6 inches. So she had 31,000 shaft horsepower off of 20 water tube boilers, 4 shafts, and 3 steam turbines. She could do only 22.2 knots, but that's still a little bit faster than USS Texas at 20 knots. She could go about 4,800 nautical miles at 10 knots. She had a complement of 31 officers and 969 enlisted men. So her armament when built was 3 triple and 2 twin 12-inch gun mounts. The turrets were laid out in a 3-2-3-2-3 alignment. So amidships she had a single 3-gun turret. After her reconstruction, a couple of things had changed. She had her boilers went from 20 boilers to 8 boilers, and she got to 75,000 shaft horsepower from only 31 horsepower or 31,000 horsepower. She became a little bit longer at 611 feet, a little bit wider at 93 feet. And a little deeper at 32 feet. And she went from 4 shaft to 2 shafts with 2 geared steam turbines, and she could get up to 27 knots now. So a much faster ship, and had a longer range at 6,400 nautical miles at 13 knots. So not only a longer range, but also a faster pace. Her complement grew to 1,260 men, both enlisted and officers. And they took the center turret out, so she ended up with just the 2 triples and the 2 twins. She also gained 6 120mm guns, 6 twin turrets of 120mm guns, 4 3.9-inch anti-aircraft guns, 4 twin turrets, 6 twin turrets of 37mm anti-aircraft guns, and 6 twin, basically 50 caliber anti-aircraft machine guns. Her armor deck was between 5.5 and 6.5 inches, and the turret barbets were between 5 and 11 inches. So very much very similar to USS Texas. Her sister ship, the Giulio Cesar, were returning from Benghazi, where they had escorted a convoy from Italy, when they came across a British convoy that was headed by Warspite and Malaya, the British battleships. They interchanged shells back and forth. Nothing happened to the Conte di Cavour. The Cesar did take a round from Warspite, but they decided to break off the combat and made a clean break. That's really the only action that Conte di Cavour saw during World War II, because she was at Taranto later that year on November 11th when the British did their attack with the Swordfish biplanes. She took a good hit underneath the B turret, which basically knocked her out of action. Being as old as she was low priority on salvage and repair, and was going to be repaired, but by 1943 they decided to just stop everything because they pretty much saw the end of the war for Italy, so they just stopped the process. So all in all, this was a fun ship to paint. I do like the red and white recognition stripes on the front of the Italian ships. Really makes them stand out on the table. This again is an older ship. Why Warlord decided to put this particular battleship into the Regia Marina box set, I don't know. When they had newer ships to choose from, better ships to choose from, I couldn't tell you. But it's an interesting ship. I do like its lines. It looks, for the time, it's quite different than what we saw the Americans putting out. Americans were putting out short, stubby ships like Arkansas and Texas. This one looks to be a lot sleeker, a lot cleaner looking. So, good looking ship. It was fun to paint, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. So there you have it, the Conte di Cavour, the lead battleship of a old Italian battleship class. Again, 1910 is when she got laid down along with her sister ships. Made it all the way to World War II, where she was unceremoniously torpedoed in Taranto Harbor. But hope you enjoyed the video. We'll be getting some more ships painted in the next couple of weeks with our run-up to March to Victory, which is coming very soon. And until next time, we'll see you on the flip side.